onda, vatos? Thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Memphis here, coming at you live from San Jose, California. Absolutely beautiful weather out here on the West Coast. Let's go ahead and get on to the topic of today's ride. Sending a loved one or sending someone to the service shop. A very dangerous, maybe costly decision based on, you know, what's going on. Maybe you're sending your mom, or maybe a loved one, someone that doesn't know, someone who doesn't know too much of the vehicles, of, you know, the services. Someone that's gullible. So someone that's gullible into, you know, believing whatever they're told. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is mainly because my girl, she seems to be very worried about some speaker issues that she's having on her vehicle, and she was kind of, you know, mentioning, you know, something about going to the dealership. And my first thought was, no, you're not. You know, it's definitely, you're not going by yourself, that's for sure. I mean, let's just get into it a little bit. I know most of you guys watch this channel for the bikes, and I know you won't be sending your wife to, you know, on the bike to take it in for service. But however, you might have an extra vehicle somewhere, you know, like most people do, have the bike and the extra vehicle, and you might just send her over. You know, if you're working, maybe she has a day off or something, maybe she has an available day off, she might, you know, be able to take the vehicle in. And what I would recommend, you know, just to avoid, you know, some financial issues, is, you know, let me just say this one thing, all right? Before I get into it, let me just explain, you know, not every dealership's going to be the same. You know what? Not the dealership, not just the employees. Just like there's bad cops, there's bad teachers, you know, just like there's bad employees. You guys might have a few coworkers at your job site that are, you know, lazy, they don't care.
No shit, I don't care about this company. Well, this is just an ATM to me.
They're just not committed. There's stuff like that, and sometimes, you know, same thing goes with sales guys, service writers, mechanics. You know, there's bad apples everywhere. So this isn't, you know, a bash on the dealerships, on the service shops, or anything like that. But, you know, I've worked in this field for a little bit over 5 years, and I've seen some very bad stuff. You know, coworkers. Anyways, to get back on track, before you do send your loved one, try to make sure that they get a flat out rate. Mainly, depending on what the repair could be, there should only be a 1 hour labor rate charged to see what's the issue, see what's the problem, so they could diagnose the issue, the problem. Maybe it's electrical, maybe it's, you know, mechanical, maybe it's just something else. Try to get it in writing. It's only 1 hour covered, or 1 hour. It should be checked and it should be resolved in that 1 hour. Idiots. Yeah, anyways, and try to avoid having them sign any additional services. Typically, service writers, we are going to start recommending based on miles. So if a vehicle comes in from the get-go, you know, depending on the service writer, maybe he'll probably try to sell tires. He'll try to sell transmission flushes, cooling flushes off the bat, even before they even look at the vehicle, even before the mechanic even takes a look at the vehicle. They're gonna start recommending services. So what I would also recommend is, you know, try to avoid all of that. If anything, have them give the service writer your phone number instead of your loved one giving up their own cell phone number. That way, when they call and offer additional services, they're gonna call you instead of her, or, you know, or whoever takes the vehicle in. Because I've seen situations where where the wife will okay on something, will give the write-off for you know, additional services, and that stuff can add up. $300, $500, $700. It adds up quick. And you know, I like I said, I've seen it happen quite a bit. And you know, some of these service writers, they are a little sneaky. You know, they're jerks. They'll try to take advantage of the situation. And you know, with my girl being all worried about the speakers, minor electrical issue, she was talking about, you know, about hazards that might pop up with an electrical issue. You know, she's been worried about it for the last 3 days. She's been thinking about it. She's been extremely worried about just so many things, and I'm just kind of telling her, like, look, it's a minor, it's a low voltage, but they don't get that. Let me pump some gas right here, and then we'll keep going on with the topic of the ride.
A few moments later.
All right, we're about to take off again, but look at that! Holy crap! Man, over $12 for 3 gallons. Welcome to California. Yikes. Getting back into the video. Where was I? All right, back on topic. So as I was saying, my girls, you know, she's been worried. She has that look, you know, that look of a worried mother. And you know, some of these guys pick up on that energy. It's just something that some guys can just pick up. You know, they're like sharks in the water. They just have a scent for this kind of stuff. A worried mother about her vehicle, about her family. It's just something that some of these a-holes are willing to take advantage of. So just know, if you're sending your loved one to the service shop, you might as well write a blank check. Because it's, you know, they're gonna try to get them for as much as they can. But you know what? Like I said, it just depends on the employee. There's people that are honest, like myself. I wouldn't dream of doing anything like that. But you know, from my work experience, there's plenty of people that were.
The brake drums are shot, and you need a new transmission. What?
Whatever that saying goes, you know, they're willing to stab somebody's, you know, stab somebody in the back. You know what, a lot of these sayings, I can't put them together. You know, I've been working 60 hours a week. Saturday, I'm actually getting off of work, so I'm ready to turn my brain off and just enjoy the ride. But you know, I just wanted to kind of bring that up just while it's fresh in my head, because a lot of the times I'll come up with some topics and I'll just forget. All right, before we sign off, I just want to kind of retell the story of an interaction that I had with a customer, which was one of the biggest ones that kind of had me amazed at what a coworker can do to another person that doesn't know too much of a vehicle. They just don't understand the maintenance.
Yes, get over that!
It was just a lady. She was Asian. I believe she was almost in her 50s or almost in her 60s. She came up to me, and it was a brand new vehicle. It wasn't too old. I'd say maybe a couple months old. Didn't have a lot of miles. You know, I'm guessing the lady just doesn't drive that much. She came in and she was pointing at her radiator, pointing at her tires, pointing at her hood, pointing at, you know, because she just, her English wasn't too good. So I was just kind of like, man, what's going on with this lady? You know, this is just bizarre. I haven't seen this before. Typically, you know, people are more calm. They don't say much. But this lady, she just seemed like she was scared. You know, she was just completely scared, terrified, and you know, just kept on pointing at stuff at the vehicle. And I started wondering, like, what's up with this lady? I don't get it. And you know, I don't speak another language other than Spanish and English. So I just looked into her history, and then that's when I found that her last visit, they really took her on for a ride. All right, so you know what? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the video of today. Just watch out for your loved ones. If it's, you know, your mom, your wife, someone that you care about, maybe it's a kid that you're sending over make sure you tell them don't sign off on anything that that's going to cost too much. Make sure that it's agreed upon that it's only going to be 1 hour. You don't want to do these service shops where they go, okay, when you have to check it again, and then you do another 2 hours, and then it turns, it turns from 1 hour, it turns into 4 hours of checking what the problem is, or trying to figure what the issue is. So make sure that you get it in the work order. It's only going to be 1 hour. And like I said, also make sure that you leave your contact information and not your loved ones, because they will put the fear of God in them if these guys can. And like I said, it's not everybody, but it's most of them, because it's, why? Because it's a commission based job. It's commission. Service writers, most of them, I think a lot of them, for the dealerships, it's commission. Some for the service shop, that varies. I think most of them are commission, but it just depends on the shop. I'm not gonna say everybody, because everybody in the comments, they always have to say stuff about their own local area or whatever. Like I said, it varies depending on the shop and depending on the dealership. All right, you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.